गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स। आज का जो हमारा टॉपिक है वो है एनिमल टिश्यूज। इन एनिमल टिश्यूज एज वी हैव डिस्कस्ड दे आर प्रेजेंट इन एज द नेम सजेस्ट they are present in animals. Animal tissues are categorized as epithelial tissue. First, epithelial tissue. Second, muscular tissue. Third, connective tissue. And a fourth, nervous tissue. Here, epithelial tissues are divided as squamous, cuboidal, columnar, and glandular. Ciliated. Muscular tissues are divided as striated muscle tissues, smooth muscle tissues, cardiac muscle tissues, connective tissues, areolar connective tissue, adipose connective tissue, skeletal connective tissue, fluid connective tissue. Areolar connective tissues are of two types further: tendon, ligament. Adipose, they are not to be further divided: skeleton, cartilage, bones. Fluid connective tissue, blood, and a lymph here. Now we will discuss our first topic, epithelial connective tissue, in detail. Now the epithelial tissues. The properties of or function of epithelial tissues, firstly we categorized as these cells work as a protection surface, means it work as to be a protection. Second, it work as absorption in a large intestine or absorption of water. Third, they are secretory nature. Secretory nature in sense, what they secrete? They secrete enzymes, they secrete sweat, they secrete saliva, they also secrete tears. Next, they work as gaseous exchange. If we are going to talk about gaseous exchange, obvious they are in lungs or lungs, alveoli. They also work as sensory receptors. Next of all, they having regeneration power, means they have self regenerated capability. They are the some functions of epithelial tissues. The types of epithelial tissues are: first, squamous epithelium, L I U M. Squamous epithelium. Squamous epithelium means they have squared cells, flattened cells. They are flat cells. Next of all, they have rounded nucleus. Every epithelial cell having some kind of non-living tissues are called basement cells. They are on basement cells. Next, they are located in nose, alveoli, bronchioles, mouth, blood vessels, lining of esophagus. Now the function of epithelial cell are: first, in buccal cavity and skin, work as protection in alveoli, exchange of gas says. Next one, they protects the underlying part. Underlying parts का मतलब by those parts which are covered with this membrane. So they are work as to be a protection here. Now the next one, cuboidal. Epithelium. In cuboidal epithelium, they are cube-like structure. They having basement cells, location where they are present in kidney. Tubules, salivary gland, choroid layer of eye, sweat gland are some of the location of cuboidal epithelium. Now we are going to talk about their functions. They produce gametes. Gametes means if we are going to talk about male gametes per female gamete, ova or egg in gonads. Gonads means place where gametes are formed. Male gamete present in testes and female gamete formed in ovary. So male gonad is testes and a female gonad ovary here. Next of all, they absorb water from blood, and this whole process occur in nephron. It's the work of or function of nephron. They work as excretory part, means due to presence of nephron they are the part of excretory system here. Now the next is columnar cell. As the name suggests, they are the structure of columnar cell. It's a basement membrane or basal membrane one thing is that their nucleus is just to be near the basement membrane. Then a columnar cell, location. They are present in stomach lining, small intestine, gallbladder, and oviduct. Another name of oviduct is fallopian tube. Function. The main function of columnar cell are secretion. Remember the term secretion and absorption. It also provide mechanical support to the organs. Mechanical support to the organs here. Now the next one, ciliated or glandular. Glandular cells. If we are going to talk about columnar cells, if columnar cells having such kind of structure, then we are called it as glandular cell. If columnar cells having glands, then they are known as glandular cells. On the basis of glands, if we are going to talk about glands are of two types. Exocrine gland, endocrine gland. Exocrine gland. Exocrine glands, the name suggests exo means outside, means they having a duct or pipe like structure. That's the glandular part and the blood vessels. They secrete their secretion. We have to write it here. Secrete their secretion in blood through duct. So that's why exocrine glands are also known as duct glands. So exocrine glands are also known as duct glands. Now endocrine glands, they directly secrete their secretion in blood vessels. It's a blood vessel. Blood vessel. It is also a blood vessel. It's a blood vessel. It's a gland. So they directly secrete their secretion in blood. They are known as ductless gland. Those glands who secrete their secretion in a blood are called as, or their secretion is mainly enzymes, whereas endocrine glands secrete their secretion in the form of hormones. In the form of hormones here. Now their function is to function as secretion. So they are present in stomach, intestine, skin as a sweat gland, eye as a tear gland, next is ciliated epithelium. Now in ciliated epithelium, these are the cuboidal cells, these are the columnar cells. When cilia present on cuboidal cells are known as cuboidal ciliated epithelium. When cilia present on columnar cells, then known as columnar ciliated epithelium. Their location in fallopian tube for the movement of egg, lungs, nasal passage like structures, and their function here move the substance in one direction through the duct. So they help to move the substance from one to another place in a duct, or is a pipe like duct means pipe like structure in our body. Here epithelial tissues are done. In our next video we will talk about muscular tissues.